2 kids, 9-year-old. And the other one is probably 5, 6. Oh, yeah.
So older kid.
Older kid, yeah.
Get an age estimate on that, or?
Yep, like I just said, 9 years old, and
I mean,
5 or 6.
Listen, I tuned out when you said neighbor came down the driveway. This was the week, Steve, that I nearly quit the podcast altogether.
Oh, no.
I feel like I'm talking to not just one, but an audience full of dickheads. That's the only way. I mean, where do you go?
I said thank you, like a normal person does.
Oh, your mailbox looked cool. You're going to keep it?
You can't pinpoint the last time you made a friend.
Steve, it may be you.
That's been a decade.
It's been 9 years.
I really enjoy your My Neighbor voice.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if that's you or the neighbor, where you guys, or maybe it's either. Both of you. Maybe, like right now, I talk to you, and it sounds to my ears, it's Steve.
Yeah.
But if I walked out,
and I was talking to my neighbor,
for whatever reason, I forgot something. I had to circle back around. I have a feeling I'd circle back around, and you would have your shirt tucked into your jean shorts.
Yeah.
Walk into the end of your driveway.
Flip-flops with some socks on.
Yeah, and again, both hands over your eyes, looking at the sky, approaching the end of the driveway to talk to the new neighbor guy. Boy, sure is hot out there!
I can't deny it. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but what's to say it won't?
And then you'd be that guy, because I feel like everybody who lives in a neighborhood becomes a little bit of that person where you're kind of watching everything.
Yeah.
So
keeping an eye on stuff. What's going on down the block? What are they doing down there?
You don't recognize my car initially. See, what's that? Who could that be? What do you think they want?
You need some help? You lost?
You don't think they're selling something, do you? I mean, it's Sunday. For crying out loud.
The Lord's Day.
The Lord's Day. And of all places...
It is Sunday, June 30th, 2019, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. Coming to you again from the basement here at my house with a short episode alert. Getting that out of the way right off the bat because, I mean,
we got Johnny Hollywood over here now.
I've been home a bit too long. I'm starting to get a little antsy to get back out on the road. Got home less than... let's see, we'll say about 19 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, boy, that's enough for me. Time to get back out. Get out there. And
get any projects done, or?
Cut the grass.
All right. If you came home and, all right, time to start hammering away on this trim for 6 hours, sleep, and then leave again.
Trim is being hired out.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Hey, hold everything in this extensive show plan we have.
Yeah, the contractor has been hired. He will start the work on the 15th.
Okay. This has to be a slap in your own face. Like, you have to be disappointed in yourself, aren't you?
You know, at first I was like, I can do that. It'll take a couple days. And I can definitely do it. But the relief I feel right now, knowing that I don't have to do anything. The only thing I have to do is I told the guy the specific trim that we wanted, and then I said, you know something? I'll just order it. I'll have it. I'll call the place on Monday, order it over the phone. I'll pay the $15 for them to deliver it right to my garage.
Sure.
It'll be here by Wednesday. Couldn't be easier. And it's crazy how great I feel about this.
So
So before you got here, I did all the measurements upstairs.
Yeah.
I have my little list, and when they open tomorrow morning, I'm going to give them a call. I'm going to order everything.
And you're going to have an unknown gentleman in your home.
Yep.
Doing work you've previously done. Now, are you worried at all that he, while on his way to finish the trim work or whatever, he sees some of your trim work and kind of snickers or something like that?
Worried? No. Expect? Yes.
But what? Obviously, this is worse. When he walks around and, oh man, who's the pro you hired for this last job?
Get out of the house, man. You're done. Because if you think my work is professional, then that is not good.
Steve was cutting.
Just thought of something that I have to order as well.
Steve was cutting the last cutting the trim for his last job with one eye closed, his tongue sticking out of the side of his mouth, and like
using a butter knife.
Yeah, didn't have
just to saw through.
Didn't have a level, so you were just trusting your quote steady hand to draw the pencil line straight down. Yeah. So how did you vet this contractor? Because
I did.
I've had this theory for a while now. You had somebody come and they were supposed to give you a quote for a shed, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And they came and then they never sent you the quote, right?
Yeah, they came. That was when we were thinking of doing
the pole barn.
Full on like 20 by 20 garage.
And at that point, I threw out the idea that maybe they were tired of your questions.
Maybe.
And your BS, I'm a DIYer, I've got thoughts, and here they are.
Yeah, man, I kept my mouth shut when this guy came out. I told him what we wanted. I was like, see that trim over there that we have in the other room?
Yeah.
We want that in this room, around the windows, and around the doors.
So is Annette going to be here? Anybody going to be here?
Yeah, I think she will be here because he's going to get here. I think she's just going to go into work a little bit late or something that day.
Because trim, notoriously for you, is one of your most despised jobs.
It is my Achilles heel.
And it's just because of the cuts. Listen, I totally
Everything's angles and math. And plus there's the... you got to cut it. Like, I'll make all the cuts outside so I don't fill the whole house up with sawdust. And then trudge all the way up the steps with like a 12-foot piece of lumber.
Right.
Bring it in the room. Put it down. Ooh. Still an eighth of an inch too long. Pick it up. Back down the steps.
Without getting into...
It's not worth it.
The specifics, have you calculated, the percentage or the dollar amount of... What's the upcharge for you hiring this out? Is it... Because obviously it was okay for you to simply, hey, write the check, be done with it.
Yeah. It's basically, because he's also going to put in the 3 doors that we're getting. Because the doors that we have upstairs, they're all just like, they're just old. And so we want to update them. And we figure if we're doing everything else, just do it all at once.
So he's putting in some new doors to the rooms.
Putting in a couple, like the main bedroom door, the closet door, and then the door that goes from the bedroom into the bathroom.
Because the last time you tried to install a door with my assistance.
Yeah. I thought of calling you.
It went so horribly awry that I would never touch a door again.
Well, you know how normally, actually, you may not know, but when you put in a door, you have to put in the shims on the side of it.
Sure.
To
make sure it's level.
Yeah, to get it straight. Spaced right. And typically, I mean, those shims are, I think at their widest point, maybe an eighth or 3/16 of an inch. So sometimes you got to put one in from each side to kind of even it out. But I mean, max, you're getting maybe a half inch of shims in there. The one corner of that door that we put in the basement had a 2x4 in it as a shim. An honest to God 2x4.
We ended up shaving some of the door. Because we didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And it is for that reason in my house. And I didn't put these doors up or anything. They've been painted and taken off for different projects over the past few years. But I don't think there's a door in my house that shuts.
That doesn't bind at the top or the bottom, or you close it and it hits
It won't even shut. Like if I wanted to lock the bathroom door, not happening. I can just wedge it shut. But I'm not fixing it, one, because I don't know how to.
I don't blame you.
And two, because it's only going to end up with me running the top of the door through a saw.
Tell you what, I got a good trim and door guy if you need him.
You send him my way. I'm going to open and close all 3 doors in the one hallway and say, you need to fix... The one door that closes is the one I don't need. It's like the hallway closet that we keep dog food and extra toiletries and stuff in. The most useless one
perfectly.
There. Yeah. But our bedroom, no, it's not even close.
No. Yeah, that's what... I'm trying to avoid that because I did the 2 doors in the nursery. I did the main door and then the closet door. And they came out fine. But I'm not sure if they're going to be like the ones at the old APS 2.0 where they're summer closers or winter closers.
Listen, son, there's nothing wrong with a seasonal
door.
There's something about, a lot of people say, hey, I saw the first robin out and about this week. Spring must be near.
Mm-hmm.
There's something a bit special about, Steve, the door stopped closing. Winter's upon us.
It's basically like a barometer. It measures the pressure.
It really was, yeah.
The humidity.
Annette, close the windows. It's about to rain. The door's not closing.
The door started to swell. Yeah.
And it's with that being said that I've approached you. And again, I just said, I can't even close the doors in my own house.
Mm-hmm.
And within the last few weeks, Steve, you and I have spoken about taking a day and tearing down and reinstalling a full new garage door.
Garage door day.
At my house.
We're still doing it, right?
It's still on my radar. I'm still planning on doing it. Hopefully, end of August, early September. I'm planning on
end of
whatever
August
works for
best.
you. Yeah. Whatever works for you.
I'm on vacation for like the last week in August, I think.
That's right. Yeah. Now, obviously, you got anything going on like the second week?
There is no way I would rather spend my vacation than at your house slaving away on a garage door.
And here's what I'm thinking. Because with every person on the planet, I know that would be sarcasm. But with you, I think there's a twinge of truth. I think there's a twinge of truth.
I do get a little excited about a good project. Especially if it's not mine, so if it doesn't work out, I can just be like, screw it.
I noticed something yesterday, too, on the garage door that has me thinking, oh, boy, this is going to be a problem.
All right. What do you got?
It's something, so you have your brackets on the ceiling of the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the left side, it's on the drywall ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
The right side, it looks like they carved the drywall out and hooked the bracket into what I'm guessing is a truss or a beam in. So obviously there's some even issues and uneven issues.
Probably. That's all right. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now, this is a day that it's going to be a full day of work at your house. Hope you're ready. Now we're doing garage door.
Trim.
We're doing garage door opener.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I'm doing that thing.
Trim.
Yep. And planning on paying the exorbitant amount to have it delivered.
Yep.
Because who has a 16-foot trailer that they can haul around?
Yeah, I don't. I definitely don't. We could. How about this? We drive your car and the Jeep to the store to get it.
Ooh.
And then we just strap it to the roof of both cars and just drive real slow.
That way, if you decide to run the red and it's red and I don't,
you slam on the
garage door just slides off the back of one of our vehicles.
Yeah.
So that is coming up.
I mean, that'll save you, what, like $40? Seems worth it to me, especially if the store that you're going to get it at is the one I'm thinking of that couldn't be further away.
Yeah, it's the furthest of the big box stores for us. With that being said, stay tuned because in August I want to do kind of like we did when we were doing the demo on the APS 2.0.
That's actually what I was getting to. We'll do a GoPro mounted on the wall.
We'll do some update videos before and after because I figure I won't want to see you the following weekend.
Yeah.
We'll have made 6 to 12 trips to 4 to 5 different home improvement stores because there's a good chance we're forgetting at least 4 to 5 things.
Yeah, you're always the garage doors I've done. Actually, well, the good thing is the door itself. I mean, it comes with basically everything you need.
Right,
it comes with hardware, it comes with all the brackets, the track, the little wheels, everything. I think that in your case, since we have to fix some stuff, like we're gonna have to pick up some lumber, maybe some extra screws.
Yeah, and because that trim's got to get pulled. Alternate idea. We just burn the house down.
Oh, okay. Take the insurance payout?
Yeah, and my only demand for the next house is to have a garage door that works good.
nice garage door. Work it into the offer.
Yeah, because
I'll pay you $2,000 more if you replace the garage door. But it's brand new, sir. Don't care. Not new enough.
I want it out of the store. I want to smell the paint on the front of the door.
Yeah.
So and it's going to be a little different than because you're a garage door expert. You've done a handful.
Oh boy, I've
done between the last 2 houses, 4 or 5, right?
Upwards of I've done 4. Well, 4.5.
4.5 garage doors done, but the ones you've done have all been single door.
I haven't done a double yet.
So I have a feeling we're going to encounter some issues because this is a 16-foot wide 2-stall garage.
Yep. You got sawhorses?
Huh?
Okay.
Is that like the seahorses?
No, sawhorses.
Oh.
Like so we can set them up.
Like black stallions?
Yep.
Clydesdales?
That's exactly what I was referring to. So I take that as a no.
A horse stable, you say?
A sawhorse.
Wow. Boy, you learned something. I'm glad I'm here.
You know what a sawhorse is.
It's just the, I got a table. Does that help?
Yep. I mean, God forbid you spend let's see.
Then where would I put them?
Well, they fall
what
flat.
would what would I use them for?
Well, for putting in a garage door, maybe.
Oh, $25. This is already on a tight budget.
Look at that.
One thing goes wrong with these garage doors, and I'm broke.
Yeah, it might be beneficial to get a set of them, or at least two things that are the same height that we can
a couple
put on.
buckets, a couple 5-galloners.
Well, I mean, it would be nice if it was up a little bit higher.
Stack 2 on each other. I'll get 4 buckets.
So you do one upside down and then
one right side up. Yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
Put a strip of duct tape around the middle.
Yep.
So
otherwise, I've got 2 bicycles.
So you'd rather just buy,
and then we can kind of balance it
on the handlebars
between there. Yeah, handlebar to handlebar.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, yeah, I think we're ready.
Otherwise, we maybe back up your car and open my trunk.
Oh yeah,
and put my car on a jack and then we balance it there.
I think that'll work.
I mean, that's a lot better and easier than spending $24.98.
I'll tell you what, I got a better option for you. You can buy sawhorse brackets.
Okay. And where are those going?
Brackets. Let's see. Believe. Oh yeah, look at this. For $8, you buy this little bracket, and then you just get a couple 2x4s and you screw them in there.
Nah.
So you're probably at $16 total.
If I spend the extra $9 and have to do the work, I'm really interested in that.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of pay a little more, do less of the work.
Okay. Well, there we go. I got sawhorses too. I'm just not bringing them.
So we'll start the crowdfunding
for your garage door.
You need the $24.98 for those sea monkeys or whatever, and then a couple extra bucks for tax.
I bet if we go on to Craigslist, I bet we can find you a set.
Oh, I don't want Hillbilly Rex leftover sawhorses that he built in a garage, and he's got a glass eye, so one of the legs is like 3 inches longer. Ooh. It works if you close the left eye.
Oh boy, are you up for a drive to Lansing? Because if you are,
let's talk savings. How much are we saving off of the list price of $24.98?
Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to get you a deal on these. $14. I bet we can work them down to 11.
So I'm saving $14, and we only have to round trip drive
2 hours.
About 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
How much do you think that is in gas?
I'm guessing a little bit more than $11. That'd be about 4 gallons. That'd be
current price? Oh, that's about $11.
Yeah. So 4 gallons, so I could get 60. About let's call it a little over 100 miles, and then I'm starting to lose money by buying a used item.
We just draft. Find a big rig and just hug its bumper.
Wait for those downhills and flip her into neutral.
Uh-huh. I mean, the savings, you'll probably save $3-4 by the end of this whole thing.
And you're only losing a morning out of the whole deal, which isn't bad.
All right.
So that project is coming up and I'm excited because this garage door has been just an absolute nightmare for a couple of years. It's ancient. It's heavy. It was broken down twice with 2 different problems in the last few years. The spring broke, and we talked about that ad nauseum. And then what was the cable?
Cable, popped out
because that happens.
Popped out of the wheel.
It's 2019. How long have garage? Okay, I need to do a deep dive. How long have garage doors been around, Steve? Okay. Like, are garage doors something that have been?
I bet the garage door was invented.
Oh, well, automatic garage door, like a
okay. So you're talking with a garage.
I want to know when the garage door. A few pieces of wood and slide it up and down.
You
want
to know when the garage door opener was invented? Then.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That would be.
I'm going to say 19... Let's say 1960.
Wow. Okay. A lot earlier than that.
Really?
Stunning. And we may have a road trip on our hands.
Is there like a museum somewhere?
Because we are going to find and investigate the home of one C.G. Johnson in Hartford City, Indiana.
Okay.
Developed the electric overhead garage door opener in 1926.
What?
So Edison barely had a bulb on. I'll say it. I'll say it. C.G. Johnson, smarter than Thomas Edison.
That's a hot take right there.
Edison sitting here, oh, look, it brings light. Cool. This guy's already a step ahead. He's got an automatic opener to cover his Model T.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive, C.G.
Johnson, 1926, Hartford City, Indiana. There's got to be a garage door opener museum, right?
Oh, boy. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't.
How about this? If I find a garage door opener museum, will you commit right now?
Is that the next trip?
You're going.
Is that the next trip?
Oh, man.
Nothing, huh?
They only have an exhibit at the Henry Ford Museum about garage door openers.
Where's the Ford Museum?
Detroit. East side.
Easy.
There's also the garage door opener at the National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C.
Well, we could just go right to the scene of the crime, right to Hartford City, Indiana.
What are we talking? What's the drive time?
It's gonna be a little bit of a hike. It's south of Fort Wayne.
Is it under 4 hours?
It is 3 hours, 21 minutes.
I'm willing. We could knock that down to 3. Have ourselves a nice Burger King lunch with another listener.
Do we have the address of the first garage door opener, or are we just going to the town just to
There's got to be a plaque, right? Like, hey, this is C.G. Johnson's home.
Just to see what the people think. Like, hey, you live in the town of C.G. Johnson. Who?
C.G. Johnson.
C.G. Johnson.
Garage door opener. Boy, there's got to be, because I need to visit the scene of this genius.
Oh,
this man who has outdone Thomas Edison.
Because I think that we find the address, we go there. Because something tells me C.G. didn't get the attention he deserved. Maybe we bring a plaque.
Okay.
Knock on the door.
Here's what we need to do. Is Hartford City, Indiana anywhere on social media? Because I'm thinking we message the council.
It's actually very close to Van Wert.
Is it really?
I mean,
so we could do another trip to Convoy?
We're maybe 20 minutes from a half hour max from Van Wert. It looks like a couple country roads will get us over there.
Hartford City, Indiana, because here's what I'm thinking. I think maybe, if, as you expect, it doesn't get the respect it deserves, we try to get a C.G. Johnson Day, maybe get, the great-granddaughter, whatever. Well, 1926, you figure, what if he was in his 30s? There's children alive.
Yeah.
Children in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because if he was born in the early 1900s, then most likely. So, his kids would be pretty old at this point. They'd be in their 80s. But his grandparents or his grandkids are they'll be kicking.
So I have the Hartford City, Indiana Wikipedia pulled up, because all the Wikipedias always have usually famous people from here. And I remember we looked for Van Wert, and it was like a 404 error not found, if I remember right when we looked.
So, C.G. Johnson's got to be at least top 5.
There's none. They don't even have the section.
Okay.
National Register of
History. All right. Say no more.
He is not getting the due justice.
No more. We're going there.
Listen.
We're going to Hartford City, Indiana. We're going this summer.
There was a feature-length...
And we're bringing a freaking plaque with us.
There was a feature-length film about the loser who made windshield wipers, starring Greg Kinnear. This guy can't even get mentioned in the Wikipedia page of his own town.
Boy, am I pissed. Okay, it's a little further than I thought from Van Wert. It's an hour.
Is it really?
Hour and 20.
I have a list of National Register of Historic Places in Blackford County, Indiana, Steve. There's a courthouse built in 1894.
Snooze.
First Presbyterian Church. Oldest church building.
Hey, God. Hey, God lives here.
I expect him to take one on the chin today. And we have the Hartford City Courthouse Square Historic District. Okay.
I think we need to reach out. We need to message this Facebook page and say that we are a group of young entrepreneurs from the Midwest. We're looking to give credit where credit is due to the man that invented the garage door opener in their very town, C.J. Johnson? C.G. Johnson.
Johnson home, Indiana. I mean, I refuse to believe that a state like Indiana, they don't have a lot of famous sons, really, right?
No.
I mean, I'm not to be disrespectful to Indiana, but you suck.
Yeah, I mean, you got like Larry Bird and C.J. Johnson. C.G. Johnson.
And Gary, Indiana.
Oh, God.
Not the guy named, but, just as equivalent, a guy named Gary.
Yeah.
Is the same.
Sure, Gary is named after someone named Gary.
All we're saying is you don't have much. You got Michael Jackson's, garbage childhood home. And now you've got the home of C.G. Johnson. And you can't find anything about him, Steve. You can't find anything about it. So when I'm reading the history of the overhead garage door opener, somebody wrote this beautiful piece in 2015. C.G. Johnson, photo courtesy. Okay. All right. August 1, 1921. Patent indicates that Owen Dautrick, not C.G. Johnson, was the inventor of the original overhead garage door, yet it's possible that C.G. Johnson submitted a patent earlier that year. So now we've got controversy. Maybe Indiana's shunning its only famous son? We need to find out. Okay, so
we need to call this person, this author. We need to get them on the phone, say that we're very interested. We're thinking about coming down there. Maybe they could give us a tour of the town, show us where C.G. Johnson lived, show us where the other guy lived. We can plot out plot points on a map, figure out if we can determine who invented this or not.
Yeah. So they have the first garage door factory is located there. Oh, no, sorry. The factory is in Detroit, so that doesn't help us at all.
That is not even close.
1921, 1922. It's all about this Owen Dautrick. 1922, Owen Dautrick, C.G. Johnson, and Arthur Kraska apply for a patent for new and useful improvements in the overhead garage door opener. C.G. and Flora Johnson, by 1930, are living in Beverly Hills, California.
Oh!
So they did strike it big.
Oh, boy.
In November, after the stock market crashed, the overhead door of Hartford City announces its plans to expand. So they thrived.
After the market crash.
They thrived while everybody failed. So that's it. That's settled, folks. We're going to Hartford City, Indiana to locate and properly commemorate the home and birthplace of the overhead garage door opener.
If anybody out there,
everybody takes advantage of and doesn't quite give enough respect to.
We got anyone out there in the listening audience who's a plaque maker, a plaquist? We need maybe a stone chipper. I don't know, sculptor.
Do you want to bring them with us, and then they just find a stone in the yard and chip it, and then we put the plaque on that?
No, I'm thinking we go right to the town square. I want to be right in the middle of the action.
Now, we have Hartford City, Indiana on Facebook. We also have Hartford City, the local newspaper, the Hartford City News Times, it looks like. Just pick one.
The Hartford City News Times Gazette Herald. All right, so listening audience out there.
Oh, I need to message.
If you're up for a trip again,
I think we can make this work.
We're going to Indiana. That'll be state number 3 on our tour of the nation.
Yeah, Massachusetts, Ohio, Now Indiana. Boy, we're picking the beautiful
Have we done
ones.
anything here in our home state? We've
Nope.
had no kind of meetup or anything
Nope,
like that.
I think that's coming this winter.
Coming this summer. You heard it right
this
here,
summer.
folks. Outdoor establishment.
With literally every detail to be determined on that, but we will figure out something.
So maybe we do maybe we go there. Okay. Stick with me here.
Mm-hmm.
Say we're going to do your garage on a Saturday. Maybe we go on this trip on a Friday to get inspiration for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get back that night, all raring to go.
Yeah.
Wake up early the next morning. We knock out that garage door in honor of our hero.
We got our
C.G.
C.G. Johnson shirts.
We need C.G. Johnson garage door shirts.
We could easily pull up a 1921 picture of C.G. Johnson, get that thrown onto a shirt. You know, maybe hashtag Team CG on the back as we drive down, because
maybe
Arthur Keska and whoever that other loser is trying to steal the limelight.
Maybe Nikki can, much in the way that she did Lee Harvey Oswald #1 fan. We could do C.G. Johnson #1 fan shirts.
I mean, listen, that's for an audience of 2. And it's you and me. And you know I support it.
Yeah. All right. Artists out there listening, stone chippers, get to work.
So we need a stone chipper.
This is going to be a late August trip to, what is this place?
Hartford City, Indiana.
Hartford City, Indiana.
So as Steve aptly described it, we now need a plaquist and a stone chipper.
Well, I mean, they could be one and the same.
Not to be confused with the local stone skipper.
No,
we don't want the local kid who brags that he got, 8 skips on the creek last week.
No. Not impressive there, little Tommy.
Now, if you take a chisel and a little hammer and you can delicately carve on a stone a flat spot so we can put our plaque, listen, you all know what we're asking for. If you have that talent, let us know. We will pay you for the C.G. Johnson plaque. And then after that, we just need to figure out, everything.
Logistics.
Where he lived.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find a chicken establishment in that city.
Are we then days away from finding out that apparently C.G. Johnson was a horrible racist on Twitter?
Was it Hartford?
Hartford City, Indiana. And obviously, as with everything, if you happen, I don't think it'll ever happen again like it did with Patrick, our friend Patrick, who lives or works in Van Wert, Ohio. If you happen to live or near Hartford City, Indiana, we need you to do a recon mission. Because if we come down with a plaque, and our plaque looks like a stone of garbage next to the plaque that Hartford City already put up for C.G. Johnson, well, that's a wasted trip.
That would be real embarrassing.
So we need some recon done in Hartford City, Indiana, because then as tradition now holds, we also need you to find us a bar that appears to be somewhat run down and not very nice, that we can then message on Facebook and ask if we can do a live show for in order to get a 0 response within
or a very salty response from a former radio guy.
Yeah. So if you can help us out with any of those avenues, I'd like to keep this version of our field trips as exactly the same. Where optimism reigns at the beginning, and then usually within a matter of days of planning, the world comes shattering down like it always does.
Well, there's a Fricker's Chicken. It's about an hour away.
Never in a million years will I support the unnamed chicken business. We're bleeping that. The unnamed chicken business who wanted to run us out of Van Wert, Ohio for no good reason, because Mr. Whitehair, old radio man, decided we weren't up to code to do a live show at unnamed chicken place.
Yeah. Not cool, man. Not cool.
And on that note, Steve, it's time to recap the polls from last week, because we are in a very, very tight schedule.
We're going to be done in like 10 minutes. Something tells me for the 3rd week in a row, this is unprecedented, we're not getting to the Fast Five.
And I've written them every week. I've got good ones.
Next week might be a short one too, because we're going to have to record. Can you record on Friday?
It doesn't sound like there's much of an option.
I'll tell you what. you can come to California with Annette and I, and we can record one on the road.
What are you doing out in California? You just going hobnobbing with the bigwigs?
Going to Lake Tahoe and San Francisco.
That's in California. Why do I always think Lake Tahoe is in like Nevada?
It's I think it's kind of like
in that corner.
Yeah, I think it's close to the border or something.
We shouldn't dance with geography right here on this.
Hold on,
because all it does is make people mad for whatever reason. And I'll never understand. The thing that makes the most people mad is our lack of understanding about the royal family in England. That just pisses people off to no end.
It does make people very, very mad. Okay, yeah, because we fly into Reno.
Oh, stopping at the big casinos in town?
The biggest little city in the world, I think they call it. So, yeah, we're flying into... Yeah, it looks like Lake Tahoe.
It's right on the border.
Basically split right down the middle between
Nevada.
California and Nevada, yeah, because you got Carson City to the east. Looks like Reno is kind of northeast. Sacramento is to the west. And then San Francisco to the southwest. So, yeah, we're going out there for a couple of days. Going to Alcatraz.
Did you get your tickets already and all that fun stuff? Because I hear that's one that books up quick.
Yep.
So... just the two of you going out there for a romantic getaway, probably the last one you'll be able to do.
That was exactly what our plan was.
Yeah.
Because by the time we have time off for the radio show at the end of the summer, we're going to be like...
Too close.
3 weeks away from due date. So that's
they don't
not
even
happen.
Want her flying after a certain time and let alone driving long
No, we're
distances.
pretty much at like... This is going to be the last time Annette will be on a plane for...
a while.
Quite some time.
Yeah. Okay, that's exciting, Ed. I didn't know it was in the cards. So you're going to Lake Tahoe, you're going to San Francisco.
Yeah,
I'm assuming those are close, and I've already shown enough embarrassment of the lack of geography of California in that area.
I think it's like a 3-hour, 4-hour drive between the two.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, 3 hours and 12 minutes. So we're going to be in Lake Tahoe for a couple days.
Yeah.
We're going to be in San Francisco for a couple days.
Okay.
And then we'll eventually make our way back and fly back from Reno again.
Wow.
This trip, flights paid for by the side gigs, the side gig parent company. Well, not the side gig parent company, but the owner of the radio station. Yeah. Because our working conditions were so poor that they tried to bribe us with free flights anywhere in the U.S.
So you got kind of gift card, or is it like a voucher for anywhere?
It was basically, I just told them, this is where I want to go, this is when I want to go, and then they had a travel agent book it.
They at least give you like nonstops? Did you make some demands?
There's no way that you can get nonstop from anywhere here.
Seems like you could have made a scene.
They would have had to charter
a commercial jetliner
for just me and Annette.
For you and Annette, and then whoever else,
anyone else who happens to want to go.
Hey, somebody who happens to search from this airport to Reno, which I don't know why anybody ever would. Like, hey, hon, want a long weekend in Reno? Looks cheap.
Yeah. The only thing I know about Reno is everything I learned from the Wayland song and
Reno 911
and the movie The Wizard, where they went to Reno for a video game competition.
Sure. Well, that's exciting. No, this will be great. You got any plans outside of Alcatraz? You doing? Because obviously Lake Tahoe is known for their winter and summer sports. You're going to rent a big speedboat to go hit the lake?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Maybe relive the Steve youth and show Annette how to jet ski.
Oh, if they have jet skis for rent, which I'm sure they do, I will definitely rent a jet ski.
It's going to be like a...
I don't know if my pregnant wife will be as excited about that as I
tell her to strap on the back and just hold on for dear life.
Just I'll pull her along in an inner tube or something.
Hey, babe, I'm going to show you how we ripped the wake back in my day. And you put on goggles.
Uh-huh.
And
she's just in the back getting hit with the jet of water that shoots out the back. Sorry.
Hey, you see that pontoon tearing ass? We're going to ride its wake for as long as we can.
So we're going to ride the wake of a pontoon boat that goes max 8 miles an hour.
Just going left and right, cutting Z's all across this wake. Until you look back at Annette just sleeping because she realizes jet skiing is terrible.
Pretty boring.
So you doing anything like a lakeside resort? You just got the local motel?
This is...
so the flights were paid for, but...
Flights were paid
everything
for.
Everything else is going to be on you.
So we paid for hotel and rental car. And we booked it all. Like, we booked the flights through work a couple of months ago, and then maybe a month or a month and a half ago, and it was like, hey, we really got to like book hotels and stuff. And it was right when our super busy season, which sounds stupid to say, at work started. So she just kind of took care of everything and booked. Yeah, like there were a few things she was like, "Oh, what do you think? This hotel or this hotel?"
Yeah,
like this one's right on the beach, but this one or this one's like right on the lake, but this one is whatever.
Yeah,
like that one. So yeah, I don't really know. I know that she booked places that look great, so I can't wait. I'm pretty excited.
Getting there, and it's kind of the unknown now.
Yeah,
and that way the onus is off you. So if you get there and hey, what do you think of the room?
Oh, I can blame her. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I guess it's all right.
I had to put the jacuzzi on the left side. Who am I to judge?
Like as of a month ago, I had never been to California, and now I'll be going there for a second time.
Yeah, that's an area I've never been. Maybe we should add that to the Steve and Kyle road trip list.
Yeah, strong listener base out there. Maybe we'll go to Fourth Hill or Coloma.
Well, we have to pick a spot.
Somerset, maybe? I don't know.
We have to pick a spot in California that's away from everything. Because
of course, yeah,
that's the only spot that will make sense because we'll probably find a shrine to, the first ever sectional couch.
How about Grindley? What do you think?
Grindley?
I'm sorry, Gridley.
Gridley. I don't know why that made it any different. It still sounds awful. Is that in the north side of California?
Butt Meadows. Sure, it's probably Butte. Butte.
Now, when we go, we're making T-shirts for the trip, right? That's the one thing I noticed in Washington D.C. I don't know if I mentioned it on here. Was it felt like every person was part of either high school trip or whatever type of class trip,
youth group, something or other,
and they all have group shirts. And I could not fathom why that was necessary. But you see everybody, and you're like, oh, well, I could see there's 1 billion 12-year-old kids.
Okay.
At some point, there's probably a 12-year-old kid who's meandered to a different group and ended up flying back to Florida instead of Chicago.
So, do you think that we need shirts for our trip to Hartford City, Indiana?
Yes, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why that would be.
And everybody that's going with us. So, you know what I think we should do? I think we should rent a van.
Mm-hmm.
And then we pick up any people in the local area that want to come with us or anyone along the way. And we caravan it.
Okay.
You up for that?
Yeah, a little convoy down the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody brings like a dish to pass. So it'll be a nice little time.
Now I am very quickly trying to scroll through our stats to see if we have any listeners in California. There we are. Okay. With a total of 43 listens.
Hey!
In the last... I want to say this is in the last 3 months. So from April 1st to June 30th. Okay. 43 total listens.
Wait, so 43 listens in 3 months. So...
It's like 2 listeners who listen half... No. So 3 months would be about 12 episodes. Yeah, 3 listeners.
Well, 43 listens over 3 months is about 14 listens per month.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's about 3 listeners.
3 listeners.
So we have 3 listeners in...
Hit us up.
Hollyweird, L.A., Los Angeles,
the city
listening
that never
market.
Sleeps.
The Magic City.
The Steel City.
The City of Brotherly Love.
City by the Bay.
The Windy City.
City of the Brotherly Love.
The Land of 1,000 Lakes.
California. Hollyweird.
We need to know. Before we wrap this up, and I apologize, we're not going to get to the polls today. It was the only thing we talked about a week ago. It didn't even get brought up today because we did a deep dive on C.G. Johnson's invention of the overhead garage door opener. I don't know if I should apologize or wait for thank you cards because you're welcome, audience. You're welcome.
That is how things go on this podcast. Sorry again, another short one, but... The side gig beckons, and I must answer.
Yeah, enjoy your time.
Look, until this thing starts pulling in big bucks. I mean, as of right now, we're in the red on a monthly basis by about, what, $20?
Yeah, at least. Yeah, and if we add these sea monkeys, even more.
Sawhorses,
whatever.
All right.
Yeah, next week we need to get that fathead out to the next listener.
Yes. If you're interested in that, just tweet or Facebook message us. If you're listening in California, we'd love to hear from you.
If you were one of the 3 listeners in Los Angeles area, I need to know how you got on board with this thing based out of West Michigan. And also, will you house us for our stay when we find a weird monument to visit?
Yeah. Also, if you're interested in a possible trip sometime in August to Hartford City, Indiana.
Hartford City, Indiana.
To visit the boyhood home of C.G. Johnson, the inventor of the garage door opener. We look forward to hearing from you.
God, I can't wait.
Download, subscribe, and review the latest show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, Spotify, iHeart, Radio.com, all of those places. On all social media at Steve and Kyle. Talk to you next week.